To all my fellow people, breaking news. Today we're going to discuss the case of Ernesto Miranda versus the state of Arizona. In this case, Mr. Miranda was arrested in his house and brought to the police station, where he was questioned by police officers in connection with the kidnapping and rape. We will now go live to what is happening at the courtroom.
Today we are here live in Washington, D.C. to discuss the case of Ernesto Miranda versus the state of Arizona. Ernesto Miranda, a Mexican immigrant living in Phoenix, Arizona, was identified by a police lineup by a woman who accused him of kidnapping and raping her. Miranda was arrested and questioned by the police for 2 hours until he confessed the crimes. During the interrogation, he was not aware about his Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination or his Sixth Amendment of the right to an attorney.
We are gathered here today to discuss the incidents involving Ernesto Miranda and the state of Arizona. Is the prosecution ready?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Proceed then.
The facts in this case indicate that the defendant was 23 years old, that on the morning of March 13, 1963, he was arrested at his home, taken to the police station by the two officers, then at the police station he was immediately placed in a lineup. He was here identified by the prosecutor in this case and later identified by the prosecutor in the robbery case. Immediately after the interrogations, he was taken into the police confessional and they had obtained from him an oral confession.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Now we will hear from the defendant's side.
I believe the police officers testified to the fact that they told him of his rights and that they also, besides telling him, perhaps the record is a little unclear in both cases as to exactly when it took place, but I believe the record supports a statement that he was advised specifically by them of his rights.
Let us assume that he was advised. So I understand you to say that the record is not clear to that point. Let us assume that we advise of his rights. In your opinion, does it make any difference when he was advised?
I would think that to be of any effect, it must be given before he had made any statement. Perhaps he might have refused to sign the written confession. Certainly still, the oral statement could have been introduced against him.
So you think that the warning, if necessary, has to be given prior to the investigation?
At some meaningful time, right. I would think it would have to be at some time prior to the fact that after, if they used it before, of course the warning would mean nothing. If they could introduce that they had obtained from the time they gave the warning and not afterwards.
Okay, now we'll go into recession.
Now we will go with Gary Nelson, who is the defendant of the court. Mr. Nelson, how do you feel about this case?
I feel like we have a pretty good argument. I feel like that Mexican's not going to beat us. I feel like they don't have any rights. And I'm just going to make sure to point that out to the judge. I feel like we're going to win.
Okay, thank you for your time and good luck. We're now here live outside the courtroom where they have gone into recession. Here's Ernesto Miranda. Mr. Miranda, why haven't you said anything at all in the court?
They advised me not to say anything, but I think we have a strong case.
Thank you and good luck.
The verdict is in. The court has ruled against Ernesto Miranda. The Supreme Court ruled that the prosecution cannot introduce Miranda's confession as evidence in a criminal trial because the police had failed to first inform Miranda of his rights to an attorney and against self-incrimination. Case closed.
Good morning. It's the other way, it's the other way.
Is in. The court has ruled against Ernesto Miranda. The Supreme Court ruled that the prosecution could not introduce Miranda's confession as evidence in a criminal trial because the police has failed to inform Miranda of his rights to an attorney.
Now we'll go with Gary and Wilson.
Good morning to all my.